If you are a woman who seems untouched by time, pause for a moment. This is not about skincare, genetics, or luck. It is about something far rarer and far deeper. Some women carry an inner quality that bends how time settles on the soul, and through the soul, how it appears on the body. Carl Jung never spoke about youth in cosmetic terms, but he did speak at length about psychological vitality, inner aliveness, and the mysterious way certain individuals seem to resist spiritual aging. Jung believed that aging is not primarily biological, it is psychological. The body ages in time, but the psyche ages through disconnection. When a person loses contact with their inner source of meaning, curiosity, imagination, and emotional truth, their spirit hardens. Cynicism replaces wonder. Defense replaces openness. Life becomes survival instead of participation. This is what truly ages a human being, and yet Jung observed that some women seem to move through life without losing that inner warmth. Their eyes remain soft. Their presence feels calm. Their energy feels restorative rather than draining. These women are not naive, and they are not untouched by pain. In fact, their youthfulness often comes from having endured pain without allowing it to close them. At the center of this phenomenon is what Jung referred to as the living core of the psyche, often symbolized as the inner child. Not childishness, but inner vitality. This part of the psyche carries curiosity, emotional responsiveness, imagination, intuition, and the capacity to remain open to experience without being destroyed by it. Most people abandon this core gradually. Trauma, disappointment, betrayal, exhaustion, and fear push it underground. Life teaches people to numb, to harden, to protect themselves by shutting down. Over time, the psyche grows rigid, and rigidity, Jung believed, is the true beginning of aging. But some women retain this inner vitality despite everything life throws at them. Not because life was gentle, but because they developed a rare psychological elasticity. Jung might describe this as a resilient ego that remains in dialogue with the unconscious rather than shutting it out. These women bend under pressure without breaking. They grieve without becoming bitter. They suffer without becoming cruel. They feel deeply without freezing emotionally. This is not weakness. It is mastery. If this resonates, you have likely lived through experiences that should have hardened you. Losses that left quiet scars. Relationships that demanded more than they returned. Periods of loneliness where you learned to sit with yourself rather than escape yourself. You may have given too much, trusted too openly, hoped too sincerely. Many people emerge from such experiences closed off. You did not. Something in you stayed alive. Jung would say this is the psyche's regenerative function at work. A soul that knows how to return to itself after injury does not accumulate psychic age in the same way others do. This inner vitality expresses itself as presence. Women who seem ageless often radiate a quality that makes others feel calm and safe. Children trust them instinctively. Animals respond to them. Emotionally wounded people open up around them without knowing why. Jung believed that people unconsciously sense psychological integration when the conscious and unconscious are not at war. The person emits coherence. That coherence is felt as warmth, familiarity, and quiet magnetism. It is not loud. It does not seek attention. It simply exists, and others respond to it. This is why people often say, "There's something youthful about you," even when they cannot explain what they mean. They are sensing your inner alignment. Your energy carries renewal. Being around you feels like relief rather than effort, and that relief registers as youthfulness. This kind of vitality does not fade with age. In many cases, it deepens. The body changes, but the presence remains luminous. However, Jung warned that every gift carries a shadow. Women who carry this inner vitality often attract wounded people. Those who have lost contact with their own inner life may unconsciously seek to feed on yours. You may notice that people gravitate toward you when they are lost, drained, or broken. You may feel inexplicably tired after social interactions. Crowded places may overwhelm you. Other people's emotions may cling to you long after you leave the room. This sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a sign of high psychological permeability. But without awareness, it can become exhausting. Jung famously said that light casts shadow. The more alive your inner world, the more it illuminates what is dead or numb in others. Some people feel comforted by this. Others feel threatened. You may have experienced moments where your presence seemed to trigger jealousy, projection, or resentment, even when you did nothing to invite it. This is not personal. It is archetypal. You remind people of what they have lost in themselves. Women who remain youthful in spirit often carry deeper shadows precisely because they have faced them. Jung believed that true vitality comes not from avoiding darkness, but from integrating it. You age slower psychologically because you confront pain rather than repress it. You allow grief to move through you rather than calcify inside you. You process emotions instead of burying them. Emotional fluidity is one of the great preservers of psychic youth. While others remain stuck in bitterness or resentment, you move, release, and heal. Movement keeps the psyche alive. Another quality Jung would associate with spiritual youth is curiosity. You have not allowed life to convince you that nothing matters. You still sense meaning beneath ordinary moments. You still believe in intuition, in inner signals, in the subtle guidance of the psyche. Cynicism, Jung believed, is one of the fastest ways to age the soul. It shuts down imagination, hope, and the capacity to be surprised by life. Your willingness to remain open, even after disappointment, preserves your inner freshness. There is also a quiet strength in you that others often underestimate. Jung might call this the strength of the feminine principle, not force, but endurance, not domination, but adaptability. Like water, you yield without losing form. You soften without dissolving. This balance of gentleness and resilience creates a presence that feels both safe and powerful. People may mistake your softness for weakness until they realize how much you have survived without losing your humanity. Across cultures, spiritual traditions have long associated youthfulness with alignment. An unbroken spirit was seen as a sign that the soul remained connected to its source. Jung interpreted this symbolically. When a person lives in alignment with their inner truth, when they honor their intuition and integrate their shadow, their psyche remains alive. Their outer appearance becomes a secondary expression of an inner harmony. In contrast, those who live in constant self-betrayal may age rapidly, regardless of physical health. If you are one of these women, life has likely tested you repeatedly. Jung believed that individuals who carry psychic renewal are shaped through trials. Pain refines them. Loss deepens them. Hardship teaches them how to return to themselves. These women are not spared suffering. They are shaped by it. And because of this, their presence awakens others. People leave encounters with you changed, even if they cannot articulate how. Some feel soothed. Others feel unsettled. But few feel indifferent. This is why the world sometimes tries to dim women like you. Your aliveness exposes stagnation. Your openness reveals numbness. Your youthfulness challenges the belief that time must harden everyone. Jung warned that such individuals must learn to protect their energy. Solitude is not optional for you. It is restorative. Time alone allows your psyche to discharge what it absorbs. Without solitude, your inner light can become depleted. Boundaries are equally essential. Your sensitivity is a gift, but without limits, it becomes a wound. Not everyone deserves access to your emotional world. Jung believed individuation requires discrimination, the ability to choose where your energy flows. You are not meant to save everyone. You are meant to remain whole. Creative expression is another vital outlet. Writing, art, music, imagination, or quiet reflection keeps your inner world fluid. Creativity allows unconscious material to move rather than stagnate. It is one of the primary ways Jung believed people maintain contact with their inner life. When expression stops, vitality fades. When expression flows, youthfulness persists. So if this message feels personal, trust that recognition. You do not appear youthful by accident. Your presence reflects a soul that stayed alive, a soul that endured without closing, a soul that chose integration over bitterness. You are not meant to age like everyone else, live like everyone else, or dim yourself to fit into a world that confuses hardness with maturity. Before this reflection ends, take a moment to honor yourself. Honor the woman you became through storms. Honor the pain you transformed rather than passed on. Honor the softness you protected when it would have been easier to harden. Jung believed that the greatest achievement of a life is not success, but wholeness. And wholeness has a radiance that time cannot erase. Women like you do not merely look younger. You live younger. You feel younger. You remain inwardly awake in a world that encourages sleep. Time cannot age what the psyche keeps alive. And if you are still here, still open, still curious, still gentle despite everything you've known, then your journey is not ending. It is unfolding.